With the full season right around the corner, our suspense for what's to come next only grows stronger. With all the hype piling up, the full season promises an array of new faces that can easily lead the charts. Nevertheless, Fall promises us bundles of excitement. So, why wait? Let's get right to the video. Number 10. Apothecary Diaries. Who doesn't love drama that goes perfectly well with a hint of mystery? The Apothecary Diaries fulfills just that, being a fusion of all your historical cravings in the form of an anime. Alongside the peak animation style, we have detail to character development. There's no telling how much of a push it will have on the community. The story knots itself around a 17-year-old girl, Mao Mao, who was kidnapped and sentenced to serve the Emperor's palace. Accepting her fate, she decides to work hard until the day she's freed from this hellhole. However, that does not last very long solely because one day the Emperor's kid falls sick and Mao Mao, being your average protagonist, helps the two using her incredible knowledge of medicine. She manages to retain her anonymity and decides to carry on with this moral in mind. But, of course, the writer wouldn't let her rest this easy. Soon after, her identity is shed to light, and that too by the Emperor Jin Shi, who takes note of Mao Mao's talents. This turn of events changes her life for something that's good or for worse that's yet to come. Number 9. Shangri-La Frontier. You see, history is fun and all but nothing beats the entertainment brought in by modern times, especially with their take on the world of gaming. Conveniently, Shangri-La Frontier is the only wire you need to fill that infinitely long thirst for gaming. Our protagonist, Rakuro Hizutomi, is a high school student with a peak interest in finding and beating trashy and borderline unimpressive games. However, don't let his personality fool you because his gaming skills knows no equal. It's only then that he encounters a VR action-packed game like Shangri-La Frontier, a game where his skills are put to the test as he continues his adventure to lift the curtain off the secrets that slumber within the world. Now, it's natural to put your money on Rakuro's years of gaming experience. This crazy gamer is not one to doubt. Number 8. Protocol Rain. Often classified as an assortment of both drama and gaming, this one is everything we anime fans love. Shun Tokunoya, being the protagonist, is not blessed with an easy life. Having to go through the experience of his father's death as a toddler had quite an impact on him. To add even more insult to injury, the same accident had also handicapped his sister, which forced Shun to quit gaming and find a job to support his family. And a job he did find at an esports cafe called Fox One. Just when all was finally going well, he found out that the cafe was heavily in debt. To overcome this, Shun decided to re-enter back into his old life just to win the Shishiron Championship to keep the cafe afloat. As he aligns himself back to gaming, his journey only becomes more and more exciting. He also begins to reunite with all the memories he made and a special someone he used to play with. Suspense truly knows no end when confronted with this show. Number 7. Tear Moon Empire. Now, you can't say you watch anime and not enjoy Rotten MC's getting a second swing at life. Tear Moon Empire does exactly that by giving an egocentric Princess Mia a quick time rewound right before she's about to get beheaded. Mia wakes up in complete horror only to find herself in the body of her 12-year-old self. By the time she makes sense of it all, she's instantly sets out to rectify the wrongs of her older self. Now, don't mistake this for a change of heart. This devil spawn only does this in fear of the same event playing out in the future. Even that's not accomplished solo because her incredibly lazy nature had forced her to seek the aid of her trusted maid Anne and Minister Ludwig to fix all the problems with the Empire. Would Mia really keep the affairs in check, or would she revert back to her old ways? That is the question that has kept us so eager for its eventual release. Number 6. My daughter left the nest and returned as an S-rank adventurer. After gambling only about tragedies, how about we turn to something that's a bit more wholesome? My daughter left the nest and returned as an S-rank adventurer involves Angeline, a grown-up woman who was abandoned in the woods before her adoptive father, Belgrieve, took her in. Being an ex-adventurer, Belgrieve taught her everything he knew, reliving his old life through schooling. As Angeline grew older, she left to follow in her father's footsteps, and soon after, she became a renowned S-rank adventurer. The only downside was the constant trouble that had kept her at bay, not being able to reunite with her father. With a burning desire to meet her adoptive father coupled with being like him, Angeline stuck to the battlefield at all times. There's no doubt that Angeline's love for her adoptive father is something that is unimaginable and is most definitely heartwarming to witness. Number 5. Our dating story. At our halfway point, we have something that is sure to freshen and lighten up your mood. With a mix of comedy and romance, Our Dating Story is a show like no other. Yes, this sweet story will finally be adapted into an anime and aired no later than this fall. The hype has been nothing short of outstanding. Our protagonist, Ryuto Kashima, is a gloomy high school student who is forced to lay out a confession to the most popular girl in the school, Runa Shirakawa. By some godsend miracle, the two decide to go out, and they happen to click really well. That too, despite being the complete opposites of each other. There's no doubt that this story is sure to fill your empty bubbles with nothing but happiness and bliss as our MCs continue their journey like two angels dancing to the beat of love. Number 4. Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Surely we all have heard about the incarnation of evil that are the Demon Kings in the wide long history of anime. But have you ever been told what happened after this great threat is subdued? Sao no Frieren is a show where the events after the Demon King have been defeated play out. Our MC Frieren, the mage, along with the rest of her party, recalls the journey they've been through as they bid each other farewell, leading to their disbanding. However, that's not all. Given that Frieren witnesses each of her companions reach their deathbed, the reason why Frieren doesn't experience the same fate is not all that complicated. Why? It's simply because her being an elf grants her a much longer lifespan than humans. But here's a twist. One of the heroes allowed Frieren to take their apprentice Fern under her wing after they passed on. Frieren and Fern then go on a journey to revisit all the places that she had originally been with her party. The journey is a long one, but the same journey will help Frieren to understand the value she had for her party members and her innate desire to form a better connection with each of them. This anime embodies itself around an aimless journey to find oneself. Number 3. Yuzuki Sanchi no Yonkyode. With all that drama, you could definitely use a slice of life to ease things out. And that's exactly where Yuzuki Sanchi no Yonkyode comes in, talking about the everyday lifestyle of 4 brothers. However, the story isn't all roses and dahlias because the brothers had just lost their parents. Therefore, the eldest son, Hayato, took all of the responsibility, and he now works to ensure that food is on the table. After Hayato, we have Mikoto, who's always seen being in a perpetual state of total calmness. But of course, like any big brother, he has a soft corner for the third son, Minato. Minato's energy is usually off the roof, and just like the rest of the 4 brothers, he too has an irreplaceable bond with what's left of his family. Coming to the 4th and possibly the smartest of them, Gyakuto, in spite of being a bookworm, he has the maturity of an adult by his side. And if that wasn't all, he's also referred to as the wise man. All in all, the wholesome lifestyle that is shared among the brothers could really bring a great deal of comfort to anyone's heart. Number 2. Ragnar Crimson. Calmed your heart enough? Because you'll need that for the journey we're about to find ourselves encountering. The ride ahead is no joke. Fellow animal lover Ragnar Crimson is an action-packed fantasy world where dragons reign supreme. Simply put, the dragons are the ruling class here, given that they rule over the sky, sea, and land. Our MC takes on the challenge of defeating these two monarchs while pummeling them directly into the land we call Earth, and so he aligns himself with Crimson. Not knowing his allies' motivation, the two begin their quest to rid the world of the dragon monarchs. Imagine watching humans fighting actual dragon overlords. It's like watching an ant triumph over an elephant. Number 1. Berserk of Gluttony. Don't you just love it when the main character realizes his or her innate strength and climbs their way back to the top, proving everyone wrong? Berserk Gluttony follows the same principle with the addition of exceptional writing and plot development. You see, Fate is our protagonist and a gatekeeper who's been given the worst skill ever. A skill that only makes him hungrier and hungrier, but little did he know that there was more to it than what it was letting off. After his enlightenment, Fate realizes that his skills feed on the souls of people he kills, allowing him to take their powers for himself. A broken ability with one of the strongest hacks in the world of Berserk Gluttony. Now that's a match made in heaven.